some shows like White Trash were not that popular, but we went off in that direction. Or Brigadoon was, they're very experimental. And that was very successful. Hard to do every week. And there's a lot of passion.
Lex's brother, by the way, Andre, wrote the music for Brigadoon.
Well, it was based on, actually it was, the songs were, the music was all German children's songs, I think with the exception of one, which was Schubert, right?
Yeah.
Michael's one, which was a Schubert piece, but, adapted and rearranged and filled out, fleshed out and cut up and pasted together and stamped and licked and, all that sort of jazz. It was experiment. There was a few other experimental shows too, kind of in a way.
And sometimes we admit that we ran out of creative steam from time to time, and we got behind schedule. But essentially, when we looked at it, we looked back at the season, we thought, well, the mantra arc kind of worked. And the shows that had the mantra arc, so it was nice to have an ongoing kind of story. So we decided to make this new season an entirely one villain, one story. That so from the beginning to the end, it's always moving that way. Sometimes the stories are fairly standalone, but there's always a strong element of main story going through. And we also felt that in the previous season, we do so many special effects, way more than any other show on TV, that we didn't always do them as well as we would have liked to. And if we concentrated on two main environments, we could do them really well. And the look is much better in the new season.
How is it to look at Nigel Bennett?
Oh, it's just possible.
What was the question?
Interesting.
No, Nigel's, he's a nice guy. He's a lot of fun. I mean, he went to Namibia with us. And we only brought people we liked to Namibia.
Yeah, I didn't go.
We tried to leave him behind. And he shot his way out.
For season 4, would Marty Simon be doing the music again?
Yeah.
And this is kind of a related question. In Patches in the Sky, was that music picked up, that was in the Stan's dream sequence, was that picked out of paint cans? Or was it just incidental?
I actually think you're right.
You're Miss Jean.
Boy, that's pretty...
I know it's sad, but...
I vaguely recall, and now I remember Marty saying he was taking his speech with paint cans, but I had forgotten. But that's, we like Marty. He's, it basically falls into that same category of people we like to continue working with.
And is there any plans of releasing some more of the music? Because I noticed like Garden and all that had a lot of different sounds.
Yeah, he's got a record deal that's just happening right now. It's just some minor details, and then out it comes. Okay, so that's the answer to that question.
Do you have any idea if season 3 will be shown on another channel besides the SF, the Imagination Station?
Home and garden television.
All
13.
I don't have extended cable.
Oh, you mean in the U.S.?
In Canada.
In Canada?
Like something like City or something.
Yeah, almost for sure. See, the basic way that City work is they have they have the rights to show it over and over and over, and they tend to, as they did before, to show season 2 on Sci-Fi or on the Space Channel, and then they'll show it on City later. But they never admit to that. But I suspect they'll do the same because they want people to subscribe to Space.
I've seen it here in Halifax on Global and ASN.
Yeah, but that's a feeder.
Yeah.
That's an outlet controlled to a certain extent by Chum.
Yeah.
How much creative control would Sci-Fi have in season 4?
Yeah.
That's a very important question. I mean, I don't. They want to have creative input, and it really depends on who they deputize to do that. If it's somebody who's sympathetic to the show, it won't be a problem. If somebody who doesn't get it, like we had the problem with Showtime, it will be not good. I mean, and just to be fair to Showtime also, it wasn't all the people at Showtime who were bad. We just got stuck with one guy who they eventually fired, who just didn't get the show. And it was very depressing afterwards when they were criticizing certain aspects of the show that were put in by their guy, completely imposed, who they had fired. And but it was too late.
Yeah.
Any plan for a toy line
You're looking at us. We go cheap.
Well, I've always been telling Xenia that she has to do a body cast for a Zev blow-up doll.
I think it was the Kai doll that's really, you got the money.
Well, Michael already has done that.
Yeah.
Xenia's not sure if I'm serious or not, but of course I am. But yes, I mean, what we feel right now is that until it was on the U.S. for long enough, there wasn't any value in these sorts of things. Now there's value, and we've started this guy on the ball, who will roll the ball of merchandising. So those things are going to happen, whether they are wildly successful or just minor cult will yet to be determined. But I think that we'll sell a few.
How about the book idea, expanding on the books? Novelization based on the stories, or different stories just coming out in different series of books.
Well, that's possible. I mean, what happened also early on is I started a book which did a backstory for a company in the UK, and I just couldn't do it because I wrote part of it, and I thought it was actually quite good. But then we suddenly came into producing the series, and there's only so much sort of intellectual capital you have, and it was obviously better spent on making the series. Which I said on the internet that if we stop, if we can't put any more shows together, we'll do what we were going to do in the fourth season of the book.
It would be nice, but we would like the series.
So
I was just wondering, how long does it take to film a show and add in all the special effects and everything like that?
let's let these guys answer that question.
That varies quite a bit. Yeah, the writing sometimes can take upwards of a day.
That's probably not a joke.
Oh, sure. Shooting time runs between, anywhere from some shows we have done actually in about 5 days, and up to I think 9 in season 2.
Remember the Robert Siegel, it goes up to 12.
Up to 12, yeah. It depends on the director too and how far he gets behind, but normally it's about 7 8 days, yeah. Shooting days, which means like 5 one day and 2 the next. 5 and 2 equals. There you go. But then there's a whole whack of post-production time, and there's of course there's the writing and the development of the script and all that sort of stuff, and many meetings, pardon me, with various departments, costumes and props, and on and on and on,
But about 4 months of post.
Yeah. Takes quite a while, especially with the number of special effects that are involved. Post-production, I think, takes longer than just about anything else, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. You wouldn't think, would you?
Oh, you guys-
When the director finally says rack, you're thinking, what's that? Let's just
Yeah.
show it.
In some cases, that's probably a good idea.
It's 20-hour show.
Yeah.
I actually have a question about fourth season. I know you've already got most of it written. What I really missed in the third season was My Insult Hero 790. Are we going to see more of him and his wonderfully acerbic wit?
Oh, no, that's actually an interesting question, because this is a question that we will ask you. I would like to throw that directly back, because, we of course like to insult 790. The first build. And, we reduced 790 in season 3.
Yes.
And partly because a lot of people said they were tired of 790. Because, to go into it, Stan, and we always say there's 3.5 characters. 790 is only half,